What's good? What's good? It's the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxer coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Gervonta Davis in the news today. If you guys, this is a video basically talking about like the issue that Gervonta has with Floyd. And I'm speaking few more things as well, but this is Bubba Dove's Instagram account. If you guys don't know who Bubba Dove is, man, he's basically like a comedian, sports analyst. And you can see he says Champ's always been in my corner whenever I need to vent or just get away from the world. I appreciate you, fam. And he tagged Floyd because Floyd let him use his private jet. And then as you guys can see, Floyd said and can't fly my new one either, but I always got you, family. Tank Davis wrote underneath, he put cap. This is, oh my goodness, man. I have to say, man, like, Tank is a funny dude without even really trying to be. But if you guys don't know, man, Tank and Floyd they have had a very rocky relationship or whatnot, and I kind of wanted to speak on that, man. And I was just looking at Tank's interview with Mr. J Hill Network, and I think he's from Baltimore as well. But I was looking at his interview with him, and it was a really good interview. You guys should go check it out. And Tank was talking about how some of the reasons why he felt like Floyd was never in his corner or whatnot. He felt like the fight with Jose Pedraza set Floyd up. I mean, was to set Tank up to lose or whatnot. I mean, I would love to hear Floyd's side of I would like to hear Floyd's side on things as well. Floyd often, one thing about Floyd that I notice is that, like, when people say, like, or make these allegations about Floyd, nothing like on a level of like P. Diddy or anything, but like they would make like they would just say things about Floyd, and you often would never really hear Floyd talk about or respond to it or whatnot. But I would like for Floyd to respond to this because Jose Pedraza was a good fighter, or whatnot. He's more of a gatekeeper now, but he was a good fighter or whatnot. And Tank was pretty much saying how he was inactive for 6 months, only making like $10,000 a fight, and Floyd pretty much had him in a situation where it's like, hey, you either take this fight or you ain't gonna get another fight. And Tank was more so like, he needed, he didn't feel like, I guess, I don't know, maybe Tank didn't feel like he should be fighting Jose at that time, but I believe that was for a belt. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that fight was for a belt or whatnot. But either way it goes, man, look, I'm pretty sure if you ask Floyd will say that he felt like, I mean, it's just, I don't know, I'm pretty sure Floyd will come back and say, hey, we believe in Tank, we believed in him even when he didn't really believe in himself, we believed in him, whatever the situation may be. But I still would like to hear Floyd speak on it. But more importantly, I wanted to talk about, do you guys notice that a lot of times, not every time, because I can name one exception, but a lot of times when these big time promoters, when they have a big time, like a star pupil, a lot of times it ends up like they end up being at odds with each other. And by that, I mean, like, Floyd Mayweather, Tank Davis, Oscar De La Hoya, Canelo Alvarez, Bob Arum, and every star that he's made. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I don't think Miguel Cotto was on bad terms with Bob Arum. I don't think he ended off on bad terms, but I believe Floyd did. I believe Oscar De La Hoya did at one particular time. I even think that, no, I don't know if Pacquiao, I don't think Pacquiao was at odds with Bob Arum, but it's just, I don't know. I always wonder, it seems to be like a disconnect between fighter and promoter at times, and I always wonder, like, what happens behind closed doors, like, meaning, like, you'll hear fighters like even Adrian Broner when speaking on Al Heyman. Now, AB has always spoke highly of Al Heyman and still does, but he was even saying like how Al Heyman owes him money, and you often hear I heard Juan Manuel Marquez speak on De La Hoya, saying De La Hoya owed him money and all that type of stuff. And you just often wonder, like, what goes on in between the fine print of these fighters with their contracts or whatnot, and the only fighter that I can say hasn't turned or hasn't been at odds with his promoter, or at least yet, is Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn. You know, they seem to be, you know, on the same track or whatnot. But everyone else, man, it just seems like they always at some particular moment or some moment, you know, turn, I don't want to say turn on, because I was going to say turn on their promoter, but I don't know. You never know, because we don't really know the whole story, the logistics of it or whatnot. But I hate to see stuff like that. I hate, for one, I'm always take the fighter side first, because at the end of the day, the fighters are the ones that's taking the risk or whatnot. You'll never hear me say that promoters are not needed, because you do need a promoter. You do need, cause people don't understand the job of the promoter. It's not just to say, hey, I have a fighter, you should watch him, but they gotta book the event. They gotta they gotta come up with the date, a good time. They have to get the finances in order, and I feel like that is where the disconnection comes once the finances become in order. Like a lot of times, promoters may feel, or fighters may feel like promoters are really holding out on more money that they could be given. I don't know, man, but it's just it's a wild thing. I do know if Floyd had according to Adrian Broner, Floyd wanted to sign him at one particular time, and AB chose not to. But then you'll hear AB say, "Man, I wish Floyd would give me an opportunity to do this, that, and the third." And it's kind of like, that's why I say it's just a disconnect, because it's like, bro, you said that you didn't want to sign with Floyd, but yet you're asking for Floyd to do favors for you. That's not Floyd's job. Now, if you were signed to him, then it would be his job to do those favors for you and put you in positions and all that type of stuff, but you chose not to. But at the same time, it's like, with Adrian Broner, it's like, he probably sees how you're doing other fighters, and it's like, I don't really want to rock with you. I rock with you outside of the business, but I don't really want to do business with you, because business ruins relationships, point blank and period. Like it just does, so I mean, it's a sad thing to see. I think that Tank Davis, I don't think he's not signed with Floyd anymore. I do believe he was working with Leonard Ellerbe. I don't think that's going on anymore. I don't think him and Leonard Ellerbe are on bad terms though. But he's just I think Tank is pretty much doing his own thing. As he still says, he's gonna retire by the end of this year. So hopefully we see him in a fight with. I would absolutely love to see Tank Davis fight Devin Haney. But I don't. That's not. It looks like that's not gonna happen, or whatnot. So I don't know who Tank is gonna fight. Hopefully he fights 3 times this year. I don't know who's gonna fight towards the end of this year, but whatever, man. And let me say this here. I know I always give Tank a hard time, and the reason why I give Tank a hard time, I always give guys that I see the most potential in. I mean. Have you guys ever watched have you ever watched what's the movie called, Love and Basketball, right? When Sanaa Lathan's character, I can't think of her name right now, but her character, they were playing basketball. She was in college or whatnot, and the girl that was giving her a tough time had got injured. So the coach was like, you know what, now I'm gonna move you to this position or whatnot. And Sanaa Lathan's character was like, well, what's her name comes back. She was like, do you want the position or not? And now Sanaa Lathan was like, yeah, I'll take it. And then she looks at her, like Sanaa Lathan gives her this look and was like, and the coach was like, what? And Sanaa Lathan's like, I mean, it's all, you always give me a hard time. Like, it's like you always riding me. And the coach then sits back and looks at Sanaa Lathan. This is where the message comes in at. And she's like, do you think I would, do you think I'm gonna go horse for somebody that, I don't see potential in? She was like, nah, it's like when I'm not riding you, then you need to be worried. And that's kind of how I feel about Tank Davis. It's more so like, man, listen, I'm very harsh on Tank, because I know I see the potential in Tank. I see the skills in Tank, and I know I know I'm not tripping, Yeah, I don't know what the heck Devin Haney is doing in this video. He must have heard me. But But no, like, I mean, I know I know the skill set Tank has, and that's why I'm always harsh on him. I often remind people that Tank is my favorite fighter, but I just it's stuff that Tank does, like the way he moves, I just don't agree with. I feel like Tank could have been undisputed. I think he would have beaten Devin Haney. I've always stated that, but it's like Tank, I don't know. Tank just moves kind of different, man. Like I don't know, but that's my thing. I mean, I love the way that man fights, man. Like Tank is a very skillful fighter, very good reflexes, very good boxing IQ, very underrated actually. You know what I'm saying? I recently did a video of who do I feel like would win between him and Adrian Broner at 135, and we all know how good AB was at 135, but I think Tank would beat him in a close fight. I think Tank would beat him. It's just Tank is a very skilled fighter, and I want to see him put those names under his resume and get the credit that he deserves or whatnot. That's the only thing I ask for Tank. That's why I get so harsh on Tank, because I know Tank can beat all these guys, all of them. Teofimo, Devin Haney, Shakur. I think Tank can beat all of them, but he still has to do it, and all of those guys deserve a fight with Tank. But that's just my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. What do you want to see from Tank Davis next? But what do I know?